Welcome back to Central Valley Talk, where we celebrate what's good about our valley, Fresno, Clovis, Madera, Sanger. There's so many great things going on out there. One of my favorite things to talk about is my alma mater school district, Clovis Unified. I went to Cole School, Clark Intermediate, and Clovis High School back in the 60s and 70s. We have a special guest today who we've invited to give us an update on that school district and let us know what's going on. Board member for Area 6.
Correct.
Deena Combs-Flores.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank
now,
you.
You're in your, what, second year? Third year?
Yeah, technically, I guess in my second year.
Second year.
Yeah, because I was elected November 22.
Now, when I went to Clovis, there was one high school, Clovis High. And then they had Clark, and then a bunch of elementary schools. But how many high schools now?
We have 5 comprehensive high schools in addition to we have our continuation, our online, and our adult school also.
Wow. Now, continuation's called?
The continuation school, we have Gateway, and we have Clovis Community Day School.
I thought one was named after Fibber Hariyama.
That's our new elementary school that's being built.
Okay.
Yes.
I knew him. Yeah.
Oh, you knew him
Yeah, I knew
personally?
Fibber Hariyama.
Yes. Wonderful legacy.
Long time ago.
I had the opportunity recently. We did a beam signing because it's still under construction. They're on Fowler Avenue.
Oh, that's going to be Hariyama?
That's Hirayama, right across from the Gallo property.
Yeah.
Right there at Fowler, right between McKinley and closer to Olive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to meet his family.
My nieces are moving up to about Fowler and Shields, and one's going to, I think, Clovis East, and the other's going to she keeps saying the new school.
Okay.
What new school?
She's in elementary?
Yeah, elementary. So
Yep, it'll open this August.
that's great. And what's the other plan? You have a lot of growth.
We have a lot going on. We just rose from being the 14th largest school district in the state to the 12th largest.
Wow.
Yes, so we're huge. We have Hirayama opening this fall. We have the Terry Bradley Educational Center, which is going to be Clovis South.
Right.
Similar, it'll be an educational center similar to the Reagan Educational Center. That will open in fall of 25. And then we just underwent district boundary changes, whole district. So there's a lot going on right now.
When my kids were in elementary school, they did a boundary change.
Okay.
And that was tough. I felt bad for the superintendents. You must have had a lot of pressure on you.
We did, but I truly believe that our district, our administration, our assistant and associate superintendents, they did everything in their power to collect, community feedback. They held meetings at schools, meetings in the public, to really gather the input. We had a spreadsheet full of comments, and I think for the most part we went through some revisions about 3 times, and I think for the most part, in the real world, you're not ever going to please every single person, but I think for the most part, we did a really good job at listening, and actually taking that feedback and adapting the boundaries where the majority of people would be happy.
Were there some exemptions where a child was going to be relegated to one school, but their siblings are at another, for them to stay with the siblings?
Yes, there's always those rules still. For example, if you don't live within the Clovis Unified School District, but you work within the Clovis Unified School District, then you can apply. But that's a yearly thing that has to be, redone every year, just because we have to give priority to our families that live in the district. If they're with the district boundary changes, if there were family members that have siblings down to a certain grade, I think we went. In most areas, I think we went down to like 4th grade.
Yeah.
If their sibling, was going to be in the 4th grade or higher, then they could stay in that particular those feeder schools.
Sometimes it becomes a very emotional issue sometimes, but as somebody who's been through it, after a few years you forget all about it. So.
Yes, you do, and and I try to be open-minded because I know it's hard. I'm a parent.
Mm-hmm.
My kids went through Clovis School since 2006. My youngest just graduated from Clovis High, and it's always because when you, as a parent, I know I bought my house in a particular area because I wanted to be in a particular high school for my daughter, and so I understand what the parents go through. But in the end, I try to be positive that if I had a child that was still going to school, I like to look at it that they have an opportunity they're still going to be in the same neighborhood with their same friends, but then they have the opportunity to possibly meet new people
friends, yeah.
or new experiences or new cultures or different teachers, different experiences, which is all for our good.
Came out this week that is it LA Unified is going to try to eliminate cell phones.
I hadn't heard about that, but it doesn't surprise me. You know, there's already laws within Ed Code that allow schools to regulate cell phones because it goes through the satellite airway and when they're on campus. And I know there's some bills, I don't remember the bill number, that are trying to strengthen that with regards to social media also because it has become such a problem. But I think it's a good thing as a teacher myself. Most times I have a little like calculator caddy hanging on the back of my wall, and I ask my students, put your phone in there at the beginning of the class period, pick it up afterward, because the cell phones technology is wonderful, but cell phones have become a huge distraction to education.
I can't even imagine. Of course, we didn't have cell phones when I went to school. Did you? No. And,
not at all. I graduated in 1985, and I think the internet didn't even really start
That's right.
till the
There's
90s.
not even an internet, was there?
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids had phones in elementary school. It's a push button kind, and I know my son would get in trouble because he could reach in his backpack and press the buttons and send texts and stuff like that. So, but I know now anywhere you go, people are just, even me, you're always looking at the phone, and I can't imagine teachers letting them keep the phones out at all.
It's hard, you know, because we do have some parents that worry, okay, well, what if there's an emergency?
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, especially like for in Clovis Unified, we have a system that, you know, sends an immediate, you know, emergency response to our schools and to our families to notify them. And so there's systems built in place. So, you know, as a parent, myself too, but as a teacher, I understand, but, you know, we'll take care of those kids. We'll take care of those kids.
First time in my life, I don't even know who the superintendent is out there.
Oh, for Clovis Unified?
Yeah.
It's Dr. Corinne Fulmer.
Oh, that's right.
She just, well, July 1st, she will complete her first full year as superintendent. She's doing a wonderful job. She's a wonderful, I say young lady because I'm older than her.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes, but she's been in education more years than I have. She started young, and she's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing that, you know, like I said, when I started, Floyd Buchanan was the superintendent, and one high school and a few elementary schools. I can't imagine the giant job she has now with all these schools.
Well, interesting fact, because, you know, Doc Buchanan was the founding superintendent for Clovis Unified, and he was very young when he started. I think he was around 38 or something like that. And so Dr. Fulmer is actually our second youngest superintendent.
Ever, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Younger than Doc Buchanan?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Okay. Now, is there a Clovis South High School?
Yes, we're building it right now.
Building it right now. Okay, so it's not open.
That's the Terry Bradley Educational Center, named
I see.
after a former superintendent of ours, Terry
Dr.
Bradley.
Yeah.
Yes, and but the high school will be named Clovis South.
And will there be all three schools, elementary, intermediate, and high school on the campus?
In the future, that is the plan. Right now, it's the high school and the middle school, but we'll start. We're just planning on opening the high school, starting with freshmen. I don't remember, and please, sometimes I forget my facts, but in 25 we'll open with, pretty sure freshmen and maybe sophomores, but I think just freshmen.
Yeah.
We'll do that gradual, like we did at Clovis East, where you bring in a grade each year.
Yeah.
And that's traditional for most new high schools that open in the area, in any district.
And I
They
remember
bring in.
Clovis West, I don't remember. You probably weren't even born yet. But anyway, back in 76 or so they opened.
I was
just
born.
freshmen.
I
Okay.
graduated from high school in '85.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, just with just freshmen, and they added. That's a really neat way to go. And what a great bonding thing those kids have. Only freshmen on the campus, and then the sophomore. It was really neat.
Yeah, but our Clovis East area, our Clovis East High School is so impacted. We have so many kids
full.
there. So that's why we needed the Clovis South area. And then also, you know, that's why we had to do the district boundary changes, because Clovis Unified does a lot more with a lot less money. You know, the monies that we get from the state, you've probably heard this a few times. I think I've talked about it. We have what's called a concentration grant, where the low economic demographic has to be 55% or higher. We have an average of about 48%. Wow. So we lose billions of dollars, but traditionally Clovis has always done so much more with the money that they have, although we receive less. And so the district boundary change was necessary to optimize the usage of our schools. We had some schools highly impacted full. We have some schools, because they're an older community, where there were less and the schools were smaller. So we had to do the district boundary changes to try and balance that out and fully use the schools that we have in addition to the ones that we are building.
Amazing, amazing you guys have that. And it's so complicated now. Now, back to Clovis South, will that open in the new school year?
Fall of 25.
Fall of 25.
So Hirayama Elementary will open this fall in August, and then the Clovis South High School will open in the fall of 25.
The next year. Okay.
Yes.
By the way, and I know we're out of time, but where are the students coming from? New construction or
At the new Terry Bradley Educational
Yeah.
Center, right now it's going to come from the Clovis East area.
I mean, why do you have so many extra students all of a sudden?
Because there's been a lot of development. If you look at the Clovis East area, if you look around that area, Ashland,
All the new houses
DeWolf,
built.
all the new houses
Yeah.
that have been built. The Southeast Development area where Terry Bradley Educational Center sits, right now Fresno, the city of Fresno has put a halt right now on the construction. But we have so much new development in the Clovis East area that we need additional schools in that side of town in order to effectively educate our kids and not bring class sizes crazy, huge.
I'm getting a signal we're about out of time. Any
Okay.
last thoughts? Anything you want to tell us about Clovis Unified or anything else going on in the world?
No, it's just really neat that I've been in education for about 18 years, and I've had my kids in Clovis Unified, but I learn new things all the time being a board member, and I really enjoy that. And then on a personal note, I'm excited because I get to go to Germany the end of this month.
Yeah. What's that about?
My oldest son is stationed in the Air Force
Wow.
there at Ramstein, and I get to go visit him and my daughter-in-law and my 3 grandchildren and do some traveling for about a month, and I'm really excited. So I won't be at my board meeting in July, but it definitely
First
will
time
be.
to Europe?
No, this will be my second time.
Okay.
Yep.
That's neat, though. I'm glad
I'm
you're getting
excited.
it out.
I'm really excited.
I wonder, is it the same season there as it is here?
Pretty much. It varies. It can be hot and humid. This past week it's been 60s and rainy, so it just depends. Yep.
Our guest is Deena Combs-Flores.
Yes.
I always say it wrong, but I think I'm getting it this time. Deena Combs-Flores, and she's a Clovis Unified Trustee, Area 6. This generally, what area is that?
For the most part, it's a rectangular area: Barstow on the north, Clovis Avenue on the west, Fowler Avenue on the east, and Kings Canyon on the south. But I do go a little bit west of Clovis Avenue on Shaw Avenue and towards 168 and into Tarpey Village on the west. So I have a small part of Clovis High, small part of Buchanan High, and then a large part of Clovis East in my
A lot
area.
of Clovis East.
Mhm.
I'm glad you came, and I'm glad you share with us, and it's important. We hear from our elected officials. You don't get a lot of press, in the seat you're in. We always hear what the mayor's doing and Congress is doing, but it's so important. Probably this is the most important job for an elected official.
Well, and I apologize. I would have loved to have been back here sooner, but as you know, I'm a teacher myself, and I work up in Yosemite Unified, up 41, and so it's just hard for me to get down the hill. But I'm on vacation now, so I was able to come in.
Well, we're glad you did, and we will be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.